Hello everyone, I'm Robert Hisee. Most of you will know me, but for you that don't, I'm the UK's #1 unconscious mind therapist. And welcome to the MindKite Podcast. Hello everyone, I'm Robert Hisee, the UK's #1 unconscious mind therapist, and I'm here today with professional boxer Mr. Bradley Skeete on the MindKite Podcast. So thanks for coming and joining us today, Brad. Really appreciate it, mate.
All good, mate.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into boxing to start off with, because I'm really interested in this thing. You've gone to the Ingle camp. I can't wait to get into that later, but let's go right back to the young Brad. How did it all start for you, Brad?
It all started, I was 7. I was started at Earlsfield and finished, my whole amateur career was at Earlsfield. I started there when I was 7. I would have been there early if my mum would let me. She hates boxing and didn't want me to go, but my dad works for Sid Khan, who owns and runs Earlsfield Amateur Boxing Club, and he's got 2 older boys, and I grew up with them. Basically my childhood was around Sid and the boys, and yeah, they was going to the gym, and I used to beg my mum, kind of let me go. She finally let me go, and it was just a hobby to start with. It was like something to do with them, do you know what I mean? And I got into it, done a bit of boxing, and Earlsfield's got like a big hall next door. We used to go and like, have a kick around next door, play a bit of football, and just switch between the two really. And it started getting serious when I was about 11, 12. I got to the finals of the schoolboy championships, and I lost in the final, but I still got picked to box for England. And yeah, that's when I'd probably say it all started getting serious, from like 11, 12 then.
And how was it to get into the schoolboys? Was you buzzing? You must have been a right good buzz for you at that age. How old was you at the schoolboys? Was it 11, 12?
About 11, 12 it was my first. And
was this when it was still back in the days, to be in the hotels and stuff?
That's like it. That? Yeah.
That's when I was a kid. It used to be like that.
That's it. And
do they still do that now in amateur boxing?
They do. They do.
The West End,
I think they do schoolboys now, but I can't keep up with the amateur boxing, to be honest. I'm sure that obviously they must do like the schoolboy championships and all the championships, but yeah, it was just literally a hobby. Like I started off, I won my first one, I lost a few, won some. Like went a bit like that, and then yeah, like I say, when I was like 11, 12, that's when it got serious. I got picked to box for England. I lost in the final, but still got picked to box for England. Went to the 4 Nations, it was called then, and won a gold medal. And I thought, this is unreal. Like this is buzzing.
How did that feel?
Yeah, it was absolutely like wicked. Do you know what I mean? It was like.
And what was your preparation up to that? How old was you then? Would you say?
I was about same really, about 12. Yeah, about 11, 12 it was. Yeah, because straight off.
At that age, did you see yourself winning that one more than the schools? Did you say?
I didn't really. Understand about. I just knew I was in a tournament. Do you know what I mean? And I wanted to win it. Like, I wanted to be the winner. And I remember getting to the final and losing. I thought, oh no, I've lost in the final. But like the England selectors was there, and obviously I must have done well for them to pick me. Do you know what I mean? And and then going away on training camps and that with England, and it was at Crystal Palace then. And having to stay over and that. And
was there any other fighters that are still fighting out there on that camp?
I was on the team and round like George Groves, Anthony Gogo. Yeah, there was like Billy Joe sort of with all James DeGar, Billy Joe. I was with them all. Like, do you know what I mean? I was with the list goes on. Luke Campbell, like all the boys, like all the boys who's doing well now. Do you know what I mean? Who've been there, done it. It was all on it together, do you know what I mean? And it was Tyson Fury, do you know what I mean? I was around all them boys. They was more when we like older, do you know what I mean? I was on the senior team, but young growing up, it was the boys like similar age to me who's.
What was he like then? Fury, was he still was he now still nice?
Yeah, it was just the same. Do you know what I mean? He ain't changed. He's just the same old. Gypsy King. He wasn't a Gypsy King then, but I'm sure he was on the way up. But yeah, he was the same. Do you know what I mean? And it just looking back now and talking now, from starting at 7 and now being 33. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just I look back and think, wow, like it goes so quick, so quick. And they was the best times really, like boxing.
When you was young,
going like round the country, like boxing and going to tournaments and then travelling the world with England and going away with GB and that. It just looking back now thinking, wow, great, it's just fun. But it just started as a hobby, then it got serious.
When did that switch from the hobby to being serious?
When I was on England camps, and then used to get a little bit of funding, used to get some money, and you think, this is like I can make a career out of this. Do you know what I mean? I want to box. Do you know what I mean? I can box full time. Do you know what I mean? And I grew up watching Prince Naseem, and he was my idol. And
Yeah,
I remember watching Naz and thinking, I'm going to be on telly one day. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be a big boxing like superstar and that. And
I love that. People hated him. I used to love him. I used to love that he wound everyone up as well. People used to get the amp. I used to think blinding. Everyone wanted to see him lose, didn't they? He was fantastic. And he used to jump, he had the maddest style, didn't he? He'd throw his, he'd bend right down,
jump into
then just
the shots
fly at you like a chicken. He'd go right down and just launch into the air.
Yeah. So he was my idol, and I've got a mad story to tell about Naz when further into my professional career. The Frankie Gavin fight when I first boxed for the British title, and I had this. I weighed in and had the weigh and everything. I was driving back home, and I had this mad number ring me. It was like a proper weird number. I think, who's that? And anyone knows me knows I don't answer numbers to private number, and numbers I don't know. I don't pick up the phone. Anyway, I picked it up. Yo, Brad, what's happening? Who's that? It's Naz. Naz, like, who's that? I'm thinking, it's Naz, what's happening? And I thought, nah, someone's winding me up. Someone's winding me up. But then I heard his voice and I thought, this is Naz. He was like, yeah, this is a big fight for you. I'm going to be there. I'm going to come and watch.
Oh, quality.
And I'm thinking, what? No way. Like, no, this is my, like, from
your
a
idol,
kid, like, this is my idol.
Fuck.
Ringing my phone, telling me.
Is that the first time you contacted him?
Yeah, and I couldn't believe it. And then anyway, like,
did he know that as well at the time? Did he not or not?
He must have had an inkling for him to work. Someone's obviously said something.
Him,
do you know what I mean? And then I remembered it, but then the next day the fight, and then I thought, if he was here, he would have come to the changing room, or I didn't see him, and I think. And then I remember, like, it must have been late in the rounds, and then it must have been about just when you just focus.
You're two in your own zone.
And it got to like, I don't know, round 8, 9, and I'm going, and at the corner of my eye, I'm seeing Naz jumping up like, yes. I'm thinking, what?
Yeah, I bet that gives you fueled you of energy.
Yeah. And then, the fight didn't go my way. I lost on points. I thought, to this day, I think I won the fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't meant to be. But I remember Naz ringing me up. Nah, it was a robbery. That was this. Listen, like, I like the way you fight, and I'm gonna stay in contact. And it's just mad now. I'm up at the Ingle gym.
Do you see him much now?
Yeah, I don't see him much now. He ain't down there too much. I'm contact every
I was
now
he retired. He was such a showman, wasn't he?
He was the man, and but his boys are obviously getting involved in it.
They
now,
good.
And
they getting it.
Yeah, very good. I think they can put in the work and can go and do big things. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and they've got the backing of their dad's a legend in the
so he's
sport,
going to teach him a few tricks and pass on Brendan Ingle's knowledge.
That's it, mate.
So tell us, how did it go from like your teens then into the program? When did it get to shift? So you had a good amateur career.
Yeah, I had a very good amateur career. Like I say, going all around the world boxing in England and getting to finals of tournaments and it was. I remember it was the senior ABAs. I entered the senior ABAs after one of the years, and then I lost in the semis, and then I was like, I really want to win the ABAs, and win it again. Then I lost in the final, and I was like, oh man, I always used to get to the final and get beat. Like schoolboys, junior ABAs, senior ABAs, I think, right. So I thought, well, I'm going to give it one more go, and then I had a good fight in the Londons with Dudley O'Shaughnessy, and he went on to win it. He beat me on points. It was a close fight. Went on to win the ABAs, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to turn pro. Like I want to turn pro now, and I had a good chat with Sid, and Sid said, yeah, I think, do you know what I mean, go and turn pro now, yeah, and then. Mick Carney, Sid was good friends with Mick Carney down at Fitzroy Lodge, and he knew everything about boxing. He was the man, do you know what I mean? He knew everything about boxing. He said I should contact Dean Powell. He was the man to speak to, and I spoke to Dean, and he said to come down to Frank Warren's office and have a meeting and have a chat, and then turned pro with Frank Warren, and Dean Powell was my manager, and it was my dream come true. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, my dream come true.
And then you was with Al Smith straight away in
Al was my trainer,
is it like iBox, was it called?
We wasn't at iBox then. We was at Keddle's gym in Auckland.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah, didn't have a gym for a while.
I'm telling a lie there. We started above the pub.
I remember in Deptford.
That's it.
I remember I used to go and watch Sam and train up there with Al sometimes.
Yeah. And Sam just won the British title.
Council estate where the railway arch is. Yeah.
That's it. Sam beat Anthony Small for the British title. So
that was a good fight. I was there ringside of that one. That was a
good fight.
Yeah, he was hard that Anthony. He lost it
Sam
after that.
Sam was a big underdog for that fight.
Massive underdog.
He could fight Anthony Small. He was well good, but he went a bit.
I remember I was up on the side bit. I remember seeing Sam hitting him. I was thinking, sod that. Sam can bang, can't he? He's a big banger, mate. A big hitter. And he's just. I remember Barry McGuigan said it once on a thing. He said, "This kid hits so hard, but on fight night, he never did, he never showed it. It's just weird."
He turned pro, and everyone was saying he's the next Ricky Hatton.
He was a big Ricky Hatton. I remember that.
He was body puncher.
He moved like Hatton, didn't he?
He had that style.
Lovely style.
Yeah. Sam, and to be around Sam, and he, like I said, he just won the British title. I was buzzing. I was thinking, this is. And then that's when I see the British title.
I remember you training with Al and that at Keddles as well. I remember seeing you up there.
The pub to Keddles.
That was good, that pub. That was the proper old fashioned, like you got like the 60s, couldn't you? Like, as you walked in, Frank Maloney had the shorts. Do you have the Union Jack thing, or the suit he used to wear with Bruno, didn't he? I think he had that in the pub walls and all that.
Mad, yeah. So we started there, and then went to Keddles, and then just used their gym, and then we got iBox, and then I was with Al throughout my career. I had a good run, do you know what I mean? And then just. I had a break, and then I just needed a change, to be honest, and that got me up to Ingle.
When you was going for the British, because you owned it outright, you got the 3 times, you owned the belt, and not many boxers do that. They all want to do it. I mean, Webby wanted to do it, didn't he? But I don't think he did, did he? I think he lost the third. His ear perforated his eardrum, didn't he, in the fight?
It. Yeah, he won it, defended it, then lost his second.
Was it Mind Perception? Was his name the one he beat? That was a good fight.
He beat him. That was a good fight. And he lost to
ringside on that one as well.
The one who won the prize fight, the big tall.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was massive. But I
think once your eardrums perforated, fucks you, your balance goes, doesn't it?
And that's what happened. He
said I couldn't find the floor. Yeah.
But it was a wicked fight, Sam, and being around him, like growing up, and he helped me a lot at like the beginning stage of my career. But I boxed for the British title and was unsuccessful. Then went on to box for it again, and won it. And that was my boy dream, like to me, to be a boxer, win the title, win the British title, and not. So
you
just
had that since you was a boy. You had that in your head.
Yeah, because when you turn pro,
that's brilliant.
Like that's you want to be British champion, don't you?
It's your first step, your first vision.
You want to be the champion, but I remember just seeing the belt and just thinking, you've got to win it, and then defend it 3 times, and then you can keep that. And then when I seen Sam's, I thought, mate, it just opened the silver box, and it's just there gleaming at you, and then.
It is the best belt, isn't it? Where have you got it now? Framed up on the wall? You can just.
No, I got a replica made and got it on the frame at my amateur gym and elsewhere. That's up on the wall. But I've got mine at home. I ain't put it in the
something yet.
No, not yet. But it's.
Did you do what Johnny? What's his name? Johnny Nelson said, well, like, a lot of fighters, when they win the belt, they sleep with it. So we all do it. We lay in bed and we cuddle it and we go to sleep with it. Do you do the same thing?
The night I won it, I remember I just had laid it on the belt. Yeah, I laid it on the bed and just, it was just unreal winning that British
Must have been a wicked feeling.
Yeah.
Especially outright as well.
That's it.
Because then you give it up for, didn't you? You went off
Johnny.
Because your pal was Johnny Garton.
I won it outright, and it was mine to keep then, and I said, I wasn't going to give it up because it's mine. If I was getting fights, But the only person who I'd give it up to was my good friend Johnny Garton, who trained alongside me. I was never going to fight him. Do you know what I mean? We was with the same promotion. We were mates. We were in the same gym, had the same trainer, and he got himself into the position to fight for the British title. So, listen, it would have been selfish of me to hold it up and hold him up and. I said, listen, if I give this belt up, mate,
you better win it.
Don't be getting beat, getting win this title. And he was a big underdog.
Fight.
Johnny, for his whole career, people put him down and thought he wasn't going to achieve what he went on to achieve, and he boxed for the Southern Area title and won that. Everyone was saying that was like his world title, but Johnny's a grafter. He won the Southern Area, went on to win the English. No one gave him a chance to win that. Then he got himself in line to fight for the British title. Again, no one gave him a chance to win that, and he went and got the British title. I was made up.
He had a war on that, didn't he? He gave his life was on the line. He put everything on the line.
What a fight! I watched. Do you know what? I watched that fight back not so long ago, and it still gave me goosebumps.
Goosebumps watching it, yeah.
And I was so made up. He went on and won that belt, and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Do you know what I mean? And I'm so glad it all happened how it did.
You was going for Pacquiao. From then, you went on towards Pacquiao. He was heading. I remember all the talk. I was well excited, and it was in talks with it. It was up there.
It was right there.
What was you ranked number 2 at one point?
Number 3. I was ranked number 3. Yeah, I was ranked number 3 in the WBO. And Pacquiao boxed Jeff Horn and went to Australia, boxed Jeff Horn and lost. So Jeff Horn had the belt then, and then he had the rematch was getting sorted out with Pacquiao, but Pacquiao couldn't do the rematch for some reason. And the list, I can't remember who was 1 and 2, but I think they couldn't fight. So I was number 3, so I was next in line to fight. And I remember Andy Ayling ringing me and saying, they're interested in the fight. It's going to obviously have to be in Australia. This is the terms. Blah 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 blah. This is what. I said, listen, I'm there, mate. Disagree everything. I'm there. I don't care. I want to fight for this world title. I can beat him. I know I can beat him. And agreed everything. And then he got back. Said, right, yeah, we'll just wait for the contracts to be sent over. Once they're sent and signed, and that it'll be all announced. It was like. I've dreamed of this day. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to fight for a world title, and then it started going a bit quiet. And then I was looking on the internet, and even the press and that in Australia was my name. That's it, Bradley Skeete versus Jeff Horn, or Jeff Horn versus Bradley Skeete, whatever. The bookies had it. Jeff Horn, Bradley Skeete. So I'm buzzing. I'm just waiting for this contract.
For the contract to come through.
It never comes. Ringing Andy. What's happening? Like, what's going on? What's going on? Nothing.
Didn't want to know.
Then it got a bit. A few more days, it was coming up to a week and he had nothing. Then I remember going on the internet and looking and saying Jeff Horn versus Gary Cork, and I was thinking, what's going on? I've got on the phone and like, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, and it was like, oh yeah, they didn't fancy the fight. They said your style's boring. This that. I'm like, how is that possible? I'm ranked number 3. I'm there.
Yeah, well, that's easy money for them, isn't it? They're talking bullshit.
Number 15 or whatever. I'm like, well, how's, like, do you know what I mean? And to this day, I say, listen, no disrespect to Gary, but they picked the easier option. Do you know what I mean? They didn't want the fight. They didn't want the fight, and it just it's weren't meant to be. But it's one of them spots in it. It happens.
And then what was you fighting for after that? Was it the European? Or?
Then I had a big. It just from then it. That's when it just started going pear-shaped.
Did you notice anything in your mindset at that point? Like, did you notice that your mind weren't like that vision when you was a kid and you was looking forward?
Yeah, I was gutted. Did you? From then, I'd say it. I just that left me a bad taste with boxing in my mouth. Do you know?
Yeah.
You know, because like obviously, me and Gary's both like promoted with Frank, and I felt a bit hard done by, to be honest. I thought like Frank should have. Push me, do you know what I mean? And got me in, like, and it just seemed like it was just like an easy option just to, Gary's there, he can fight, do you know what I mean? And chucked him in, and I feel like I've worked like my whole life to get to that stage, getting the rankings, be ranked number 3, like be right up there in touch and distance, and it just all goes to pot, do you know what I mean? And from then, it left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth.
I can understand.
With the boxing, but it's just, I was still was positive, do you know what I mean? Weren't the end of the world, and I just thought I'll get there, do you know, I'll get my chance. And then I didn't fight for ages after that. Like nothing was happening. I'd give up my British title, do you know what I mean? And then there was a chance, the European title was vacant, and then I had a chance to fight for that, and I said, obviously I wanted to fight for the European title, and then a good Spanish kid was in line for it too, so we boxed. I think at the time he was 24-0 and had like 21 knockouts, so he could punch a bit in that. But watching him, I thought, But then the fight happened over in Spain, in Bilbao, and just wasn't me. Just wasn't meant to be. Do you know what I mean?
Just things,
I just like went in there and he just come out, was strong. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, got beat in the second round.
What did your mind learn from that after? When you look back now, did you learn a lot from that fight? Would you say?
Yeah, a lot of things went on like behind the scenes, and I should have never boxed, to be honest. And
you shouldn't have.
I should have pulled out the fight. And no, not like only like my close friends and family would know what was going on, and it's one of them. I'm never one to make excuses. I made the decision to get in there.
But it's good for next time when you know that you don't feel right not to take it, just to go right. Fuck me, you know. Like a lot of fighters have done that in their time, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know,
I should have never boxed. Like in my head, I was thinking, I'm sweet, I'm right, but
looking back, you knew you weren't.
Never. And everyone who knows me knows what went on. And looking at that fight, just people say people had to ring him up. You're all right, like that one. Like, what was you doing in there? Do you know what I mean? And listen, it is what it is.
Well, it is, yeah.
It's one of them things.
Mohamed Ali said I learned more from my losses than any of my wins, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? And there's something about boxing that I find really strange is that kickboxing, everyone will lose. Yeah. Football, rugby, you know, any other sport. But something about some boxers, when they get in that professional game, they lose one fight, and some fighters, their mind goes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and listen, it is everyone loves to be that.
Because like Ricky Hatton, Mike Tyson, a lot of them they do lose it. Naz, they all give up. They sort of lose that thing, and I think, you know, that's a shame, and that's why I think like there should be more help with the mind side of in all sports. Like I worked with Jamie O'Hara. He fucked his career up because he's like visualised playing for Tottenham. He said like it was great. He said, but when I got for Tottenham, I wasn't training to make the team anymore. I'm just training to play Saturday. And he said, he said the same as you. He lost his passion a little bit, and he sort of fucked up a little bit. But now he understands what he was doing mentally. And he says to me, I'd like to put this in, you know, what I'm sort of talking about, the mind of the RAS system of visualising, which he's now applied to his the radio shows and Sky, and everything he's visualising now he's actually doing. He said, I wish I could get in and help, like me and him get into the FA and help players, because it's the same in most sports. It's like, as me and you had a chat earlier, and you said like when you come away from boxing, you thought, this it now? Like, you didn't know you was a little bit because you lost, didn't you? And that's like the same as footballers. They do it since they were 7 years old, like yourself. Like the elite always seem to be, didn't they? And they when they retire, like what do they do? They eat the booze.
That's it.
You know, they don't know who they are, what to do. And in the history of fighters, you see a lot of them end up, you know, they end up on the piss. And I think
it is all about mindset, because that fight there was, my mind weren't on it. Do you know what I mean? And that proved it.
You said earlier as well, and I could go back earlier, but you did say, I want to get this on camera, that's why I felt it was weird, that you said it don't matter how hard you train, you have the best skills in the world, but you said if your mind ain't there, it don't matter, you've already lost before you got in there.
Spain happened, I lost for the European title, it wasn't meant to be. I come back, had a wicked win, had a tough Mexican, had never been stopped. He'd been beat, I think, twice or 3 times, but never been stopped. I'd done him in 3 rounds, do you know what I mean? I was back on the high again, I was back buzzing, and then another fight was going to happen, and then it was for a WBO international belt. So I'm thinking, touch, that gets me back, in the rankings, and I'll be back. And so it was I can't remember the opponent now for the life of me, but it was a good opponent, decent opponent. Then that didn't happen, that fell through. Then it was going to be for the title, it weren't going to be for the title. Then it was this opponent and that opponent that was getting changed. So I'm training now still, but my mind is elsewhere. I'm thinking that's where it goes back to the mind, and then this is why I know. And I'm thinking, am I fighting, am I not fighting? And it was, the show's off, the show's on. And then I'm thinking, this is a shambles, do you know what I mean? I'm just training, I don't know who I'm fighting, I don't know if it's for a belt or not. And it's a lot of stress and a lot of pressure you need to
you need to know which direction,
as well as training and getting your body right and everything else, do you know what I mean? And then it was like, I think a week and a half to go, and then the opponent got announced, and it was for the belt. But it was like, I didn't know much about him. He was a big, massive southpaw, do you know what I mean? I didn't really get much southpaw sparring, and I got in there, and once again my mind went right and got done again, do you know what I mean? And that just proves when your mind's not right, it's not going to happen. And no disrespect again, the geezers shouldn't be lacing my boots, let alone putting me over and getting a win over me. And that's when I said, right, I'm having a break, I need a break.
But I can see now, like the fire in your eyes, like you can see it. Like when I see you you retired, I was gutted because I was a big fan of you as well, And when I see you retired, I was like, fuck, man. And then when I see you in the Ingle gym, I was like, what the fuck? I see you on Instagram. And then I spoke to Lauren and she went, he's back boxing. I was like, fucking blinding. I was buzzing. And you know what? I don't think you could pick a better gym in the country because like as I'm into the mindset, as you know, like I love like the custom auto stories of Mike Tyson, do you know what I mean? You know, the difference between a coward and a hero is that they both feel the same emotion, but it's what the coward doesn't do that makes him a coward. And I love all them old philosophers and Brendan Ingle to me is like, I'd love to have met that guy, like with his mindset and with the podcast with Johnny Nelson, he told me stories and he just seemed an amazing guy and the fact that he don't let the fighters Ed sparred, Johnny Nelson only Ed sparred 3 times before a fight. He said he didn't want you all to be punch drunk and shit like that. And everyone was going, he's doing it wrong up there. And yet he's had more national champions, world champions, like British champions than any other gym. He's like phenomenal. And the stories behind it. So, and I like what I really like is because I like the mind of an unorthodox sort of style, the way I work, is that I like the way he gets the fighters and he takes the fighters and develops them. He don't go, right, let's say you stand. Like a lot of trainers that go, right, now if your arm's too short, lift your arm up. And he goes, how'd you stand? And they'll go, right, sort of adjust it a little bit, feel better? And that's how you're going to fight. So Naz would be like this when they're doing all this like...
Not everyone's the same.
Not everyone's the same. Their body, he used to work with the way their body moves.
That's it,
And then he had to defence off that. So they couldn't do defence and you better move quicker or shit. It's just like, I love the whole way of letting the energy be in the way the person is the way you're going to fight. And it obviously works. And are you finding that now? Because you like, I mean, obviously, I can imagine you're learning new stuff and it's a different mindset for you up there. What's it like for you up there?
It's my mind's like the best it's ever been, I'd say. Listen, I was 2 years out the ring and out, no training, no nothing. And I literally, when I stopped, I thought, this is me now. I just didn't know what I was doing, if I was coming or going.
You lost yourself.
I've boxed since I was 7, and I thought it was the end. Do you know what I mean? But I knew it wasn't the end. I knew I wasn't done. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't done, and. A lot of people wrote me off.
How did it come about getting to the Ingle gym again? How did it back?
This is mad. I'll tell you the story. I believe in life, things happen for a reason, bad and good, and it all goes back to Naz. He was my idol growing up, 7 years old, watching Naz and wanting to be Naz. Do you know what I mean? Be him, and he won't come in to watch me fight. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm in the Ingle gym and. How it come about, when I had my break, when I took some time off, I started doing a bit of personal training and training a young kid, Lightning Jr. He's really good. He's on his way up, and he's same as me. He loves Naz, and Naz is his idol. He's the same flashy little style, and obviously I was in contact with Naz, and I said, I'll get him to come and watch you train or spar one day. And got in contact with Naz. He promised me, I'll come down. I didn't hear from him for a while, and then his boys got in contact and said they wanted to come down. And they'd bring Naz, bring their dad. So I thought, I'd touch. And then they turned up to the gym one day and watched Lightning sparring, and I took Adam on the pad, Sammy on the pads, and Naz said, listen, this is good, this is unreal. Had a good gym, good setup. He said, you're doing really well. And then Adam and Sammy was like, listen, we're going up to Sheffield, because they was training with Dom up at the Ingle gym at the time. We're going back to Sheffield. Why don't you come up with Lightning and come up to Sheffield, see the gym and that, and do some training up there? I said, yeah, wicked. I've never been. Do you know what I mean? At Brendan, I knew Brendan. I was lucky to meet Brendan.
To meet him,
once,
legend.
Yeah. So obviously I wanted to go up to Ingle gym, and I'd never been before. I trained up in Sheffield and that with GB, but never been to the Ingle gym. It was just they come down and it was arranged to go up, and made sure it was all right with Dom, and that went up for a week, took Lightning and took some training clothes myself and trained a bit myself. And then I just knew then I wanted to be there, and I wanted to be part of that gym. I was buzzing. So I asked Dom to go for a coffee, and then
when you got there, was the vibe there that you expected?
Because it was a good vibe. Because Liam Williams and Willie Hutchinson was not far off fights, so they was in the gym training, and I know them anyway, knew the boys anyway, but the buzz was in the gym, do you know what I mean? All the boys was in the gym training, Robbie Davis Jr. was there training, obviously Kid Gallad training, and I just thinking, I'm with these like class fighters, do you know what I mean? And it's unreal, everyone's buzzing off each other, and then, like I said, I went for a coffee with Dom and had a chat with him and said, like, I want to get back into boxing, and he said, listen, you're 33 now, you've had 2 years out, it's now or never. You're up here, like, you can either go and be a PT and do that, or you can get back into training and see if you can.
And he wanted you there?
Again. Yeah, and then I just said, I'd love to have the opportunity to come up here and train and be part of it. And he said, yeah, more than welcome to come up, and listen, I'm not looked back since. I've lost weight, I'm in shape again, and listen, I've sacrificed being away from home and my friends and family, but that's what I want.
I think that's good for a fight as well. That's what gives you that little bit of switch, doesn't it? Yeah, that mindset.
Listen, I'm a mummy's boy through and through. Like I get everything done for me. Like living, no one would have thought I'd be able to live by myself, cook, clean, wash, and everything. Do you know what I mean? But
it's all done.
I'm handling it all right. I'm doing well, and I'm really enjoying it. And like
what's the difference? Like you said earlier, you're learning some foot patterns. You said you're learning new stuff. You said you feel like you're a kid again. Like
when I first walked in the gym, I always knew about the lines. Everyone talks about the lines in the Ingle gym. But when I went up there, when I first went in, seen all these lines on the floor, circles, seeing the boys like up and down these lines, changing their feet, and I'm thinking they're making it look way easy. Like that. Tried to do it, and I was tripping over. Didn't have a clue.
Really?
Didn't have a clue what was going on. Didn't have a clue. And until they break it down and explain what it's doing, it becomes it just becomes part of your boxing.
Everything
do you know what I mean? Your movement and your flow and that's
you're
just repetition.
Even when you're sparring, you can feel the.
And that's what it is. And where they don't really head spar, you're just body sparring. You can practice and you just your movement and your turns and like your footwork, and it just all comes together. And every day in the gym is like a new day. And I even though it's repetition of the same thing, doing your lines and doing your blows your shots on the bags, it's putting it all in together now. All is coming to sparring, everything's coming together, and I've been up there 6 months now, and it's clicking now. I'm getting that and I'm buzzing. Everyone who talks to me say like I can see like you're smiling and that. And that's why I said to you, I feel like a kid again, and I'm just starting learning again because I'm buzzing to be in the gym. I'm buzzing to learn. And when things happen, and I think, oh yeah, wicked, like that worked, and I didn't have that before. Like that, I fell out of love with boxing, and my heart weren't in it no more.
So that's what you said earlier about things meant to happen for a reason. You left. You've had that break, and you probably what you needed just to reset.
Definitely, yeah. And I feel like a new man. Do you know what I mean? I've got that buzz about me. I can't wait to fight again. I can't wait to be back and amongst it, and that's what my head's right, my mind's right.
You're aiming for them titles this time now. You're going for it.
100%. There's no reason I can't get back to where I was, and if not better.
You know, I speak about visualising the stuff. How do you see, what sort of things do you do? Do you practice visualising now? Do you practice like seeing your future? And
no, I don't tend to practice it, but I do sit and think about that. You could call that practicing it, because I do sit and think and look and see what I want and know what I want and believe, and tell myself, like, I sit and tell myself sometimes I feel like mad for doing it, but just, you know, when you say I will be a world champion, I will achieve this, I will do that, and just tell yourself that. And what helps me now is being around it and amongst it, like, and I believe success breeds success.
It does, yeah.
And I'm in the gym with a world-class trainer, world-class fighters, and successful people.
So with the visualisation thing, when I studied boxers with what I do, if you look at people like Muhammad Ali, at the age of 18, he said, I'm the greatest, I'm the next heavyweight champion in the world, and I'll be the greatest boxer you've ever seen. He's in 1960, he wins the Olympics, and he's shouting that. People, who the fuck do you think he is, right? And people don't realise, like, I love the mental side of Ali. he put defence into boxing. When I mean this stepping backwards, they were going, my granddad hated him. My granddad was a coward. He liked all the old fighters like the Jack Dempsey and all that, my old granddad. But he'd go, he used to run away. He fucked boxing, he did it. I was going, no, but because he moved backwards, and he was the first person to sort of knock someone out stepping backwards, because they still score on aggression now, don't they?
Yeah.
And he'd go, I'm too pretty to get hit. And all of a sudden people started going, after 200 to 300 years of boxing, going, that's a good idea, let's move back. You know what I mean? It took 300 years for people to realise, hit and don't get hit. Because it was just the word toe to toe, wasn't it? It was Marciano, and that was just, you just punched the shit out of each other.
Fighting, that's boxing, isn't it?
Yeah. And with Ali, when I studied him, he said since he was 12 years old, that he visualised being world champion. He said, there weren't many tellies in the early 50s for kids to be watching every day. He said, so when in my head when I'm skipping, I'll be visualising holding up WBC. I'll be visualising Barma Della Hash, the press, all this sort of stuff. And he said, then I go for a 2-hour run or an hour run through the woods. I'll be visualising on WBC. And he said, every single day of my life, I saw myself as the world champion. And when I look at the brain science behind it, there's a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. It's a group of neurons at the bottom of the brain that what you focus on, you become. It's the oldest proverb of all time, I mean, this is science now behind it. And it's that thing like, if your missus is pregnant, everywhere you go, you see fucking pregnant women. Or if you go buy a new yellow car, you start noticing yellow cars. That's the RES system. So it focuses on what you want and what you don't want. So if you focus on all the bad stuff, you're going to start noticing, you're going to start seeing signs of more things you do bad. And if you focus on the things you do good, or what you want, cars, money, whatever the fuck it is, it sort of runs in alignment with law of attraction. So anyone at home, the reticular activating system, and I was going on about it, but I mean everyone should fucking learn it, because most people just focused on what they want, not what they don't want. They'd lose anxiety in a better life anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? But people are too busy focusing on what they don't want. I've got to change, I've got to look back at my past and try to make like fuck that. Like focus on what you want. So what I see is, if you look at the visualizations behind it, I love that it doesn't matter what sport it's in, that them higher power people, if they do it consciously or not, like Jamie Armour never knew what he'd done. He went to me, when I started, he came to my retreat, and I've known Jamie since he was 14, but he comes to my retreat and he said, Rob, this makes so much sense about visualising. He went, because when I was a kid, I used to visualise every day, from when I was a kid, playing for Tottenham and being a Premiership player. And he went, people used to go to me, how'd you become a Premiership player, Jamie? Go, it was easy. I just used to see myself playing for the Premier. And I used to think you flash cunt. But I didn't know what else to say to him. It was the truth. I used to see myself playing for... And that was all I'd done. He said, but when I got there, that's what fucked it. Because I should have been visualising scoring 30 goals for England. I should, for Tottenham. I should have been visualising making the first team of England. He said, but I never. I just lived in the moment. And I didn't know what I was doing. So it's really weird when I look at sports people that some know they're doing, like McGregor, he actually practices it like part of his fighting, and he talks about it openly about law of attraction and visualization. So, but you'll see this thing is that what pulls you forward is that vision. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he says, I have to visualize the body you want. That's what creates then the will. So, I believe visualization is a skill, and I believe they should teach it in boxing gyms. Because the unconscious mind doesn't know what's right, so it doesn't know what's real and what isn't. And actually, they've done a study with the RES system on fighters. They got fighters to practice sparring, and then there was like 20 fighters, and they took 10, and they taught them about the RES system and visualised, and they made them close their eyes, and then they practiced their sparring in their head. So then they'd spar, then they'd go and practice whatever they didn't do and they should have done. They'd sit there and they'd slip the shots, and they'd visualise it as if they were in the ring. Within 4 weeks, they put them back in the ring, and they were looking at the reaction speeds of their brain and everything. The reaction speed of the guys that were visualising, were leaning off of shots by an inch, and their reaction speed was 0.2 of a second quicker, which don't sound a lot, but that was the difference. That was the difference of an inch off a shot. And they proved that was the case by visualizations. They were actually creating skills. They've proven you can create skills by visualizing. And if you think about it, you look back in the ancient times, with all this Tai Chi, and people used to sit and meditate, they'd do their fight moves. And it ain't no secret. It has been going on for years. But before it was like, oh, do you believe in it or not? Now we've got science.
Granted, I think. Do you know what I mean?
They do.
Think you like, what's that idiot sitting there, like, eyes shut, thinking
about what is it?
Listen, it's all part of the mind and everything. Like, with boxing, do you know what I mean? Everyone thinks it's physical. I'm going down there, smash him up, knock him out, this, that.
No, it ain't.
You
It's
go
like
and
a
tell
game of
yourself,
chess.
I feel tired today, I feel You're not going to go in there and get your head punched in. Do you know what I mean? Just from thinking.
Little weak fault,
There you go. But you go in there and tell yourself, I'm the man. Like, he can't. Like, you're going to have that about you, aren't you?
Yeah.
And it's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't play boxing, can you? That's the thing, isn't it?
That's the same, mate. Yeah.
But yeah, so what's next for Bradley Skeete then? So you're hopefully fighting soon.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Hopefully everything's going well. I'm in the gym. I'm ready now. Listen, I've been there 6 months. I've been putting the work in, and I'm just ready and waiting for that phone call now, and just to get that opportunity to get back.
So what's the plan? Would you say? Would you go straight in for the big shots, get a couple of under your belt, and then go for the?
Ideally, I've been out for a while. I'd like to, obviously with a new trainer and new team, I'd like to
get the
have a fight, not an easy fight. Do you know what I mean? I'm not at that level to have an easy fight, but just to get a keep busy fight, get back in, like just put what me and Dom's been working on into practice. And then listen, I'm ready. I've been there and done it. Do you know what I mean? I've been up some big fights. I mean, I've been.
Do you think it helps some way that you've had the break? Because now you're like, I ain't bothered about what the first time around you'd probably been. I wonder what's going to happen. You've got that anticipation. I don't know what to expect. I wonder how it's going to be. Now you've felt all that already.
Yeah, You've
only got one place to go now, and that's the world title.
Exactly, and I'm with like I say, world class trainer, world class gym, world class fighters. I'm around it every day, and
what's that film called, Brad? With the fighter and he broke his back. It's a brilliant. The Pevez or something. Have you seen the movie? He said you never fight again. He said, Doctor, don't think you know what type of man I am. I am going to fight again. I mean, it shows you the mindset of when someone's mindset. Brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and he had the thing on his neck. His neck was snapped, and he was still doing
the weights
benches and that. And I can't remember that's called.
Vinny Petroza, his name.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. The film. Let It Bleed or something, isn't it? Something like that.
That's it. Bleed, something like that.
Isn't it? It's a blinding movie. But to see that's a true story and see the mindset.
The doctor's telling him no, and he's telling himself,
you're never going to walk again. He's like, fuck that, I want to become a world champion again. And then did he come back and beat fucking Danan?
He won the world title.
I think he beat Danan as well, didn't he, after?
That's what I mean, is him telling himself,
I'm
he
back.
could have sat in there and been in a wheelchair the rest of his life.
That's right, he could have given up and just not worked. But this is the power of the mind, ain't it, you know? They can prove that the mindset can create illness by worrying and stress, but they can also prove now, through good hormones, that we can help create cure. So what you think about, you become, Brad, you know what I mean?
That's it, mate.
So, who are you after? You got your eyes on anyone, or you're not yet? You don't.
Yeah,
you got your eyes on someone.
I'm there. I'm going to move up weight now as well. I'm going to, instead of doing welterweight 147, I'm going to move up to 154 and do. They call it super welterweight now. I'm middleweight now, and I think that'd be new, like another new challenge for me.
Light middleweight. Was that Webby wasn't he? 11 stone.
Yeah, 11 stone. Yeah, 11 stone. So listen, in an ideal world, like I said,
that's a nice weight, you know, because you've got the power and the speed still rapid, isn't it? Yeah.
I'd like to get a keep busy fight to get back in, and then domestically there's some great names and could go on to be a 2-weight British champion. I'd love to do that. Do you know what I mean? There's some great fights there. Ted Cheeseman and JJ Metcalf's fighting for the vacant British title in a couple of weeks, so that's a great fight. There's the likes of Anthony Fowler, Scott Fitzgerald's there. There's some great domestic fights there, do you know what I mean? And to be amongst that.
Just as you're warming up, as you're coming through.
Yeah, get back there. And then, listen, I was unsuccessful fighting for the European title, but I know
you can have it again.
I'm beyond European level, do you know what I mean? I've been there and done it. I know I can mix that level. I've beat people who's been European champions and more, do you know what I mean? I know I can mix at that level. And then the world title.
I'm not going about the mindset of the Ingle's gym, because I'm fascinated by the Ingle's gym. What's it like? There's Dominic, is he good with the mind as well? Is he a positive guy?
Positive, yeah, is he like
the old man?
He is like a fighter himself. He trains every day. He's in unreal shape. Yeah, he's in unreal shape. He goes on bike rides, he does weights, he trains, he eats well, He's got a food book out, Ingle Real Food.
Brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? He lives the life of a fighter, and he's 100% on it. And that's another thing. Do you know what I mean? He ain't
he's speaking what he's doing what he preaches. He ain't just telling you, like he knows.
He took me on the bike ride. We was up for 3 hours. There was hills like that. He's in front of me. I'm the fighter. He's 53-year-old man in front of me saying, "Listen, you can't beat me. You're not going to do 12 rounds." And
is that racist?
You know what I mean?
That fucks you, doesn't it?
He's living the life.
I love
you know
that.
what I mean? So you're thinking, nah,
Gotta
he's
catch
pushing
up with
that.
him.
If he can do it, I should be flying. So
I love that.
And he's
lead by example.
He's black and white. He ain't grey. Do you know what I mean? It's one way or no way. It's his way. Do you know what I mean? And he's leading by example, like you say. And that's what I need. He's very positive, and he knows what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? He's had how many world champions? He's been boxing all his life. He knows what he's talking about. His brother John is in the gym. Another one, he
plays the guitar like me now, doesn't he?
Dom, he's on the guitar.
Yeah, so if you're watching, I'd love to have a jam with you one day, champ.
He'd love that.
I've seen him.
I think you'd give him a run for his money.
Yeah, mate, I've been fans since I was 11. We'll have a guitar duo, have a little blast off.
Putting a good word
I do love it. Yeah, mate.
But Dom's brother John, he's in the gym. Do you know what I mean? He's been around it. He used to do a lot of Naz's pads and that. He's been around it for a long time. And he's got some stories to tell. And listen, their dad's a legend, Brendan. He's the man. He's the man. Do you know what I mean? So to be around that and be around that setup is only good for me. It was John who told me. I kept on doing interviews saying, I've been at that level. I've been British champion. I think I could go and win it. He said, "What do you mean you think? You will win a European title.
Stop talking.
You will, you're in this gym, you will. You're beyond that. You'll go and win. You'll tell yourself you win a world title. You go and do it. How many world champions this gym's had? We produce world champions.
You ain't got ain't a choice. You're gonna do it.
That's when I went, well, do you know what?
So you need to be told that.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think that's what I am. I'm beyond European level. I ain't won a European title. I've got beaten.
Isn't it mad in life sometimes? Someone can just tell you something that you should know yourself, and you go, what the fuck am I thinking? It's mad, isn't it?
He was in the gym and stopped the interview and said, I've got to stop that there. What are you talking about?
The fuck you doing?
And then I thought, I just clicked and thought, he's right, you know. I am
better than this.
Do you know what I mean? I will win that. What are you talking about? And then that's how my mindset is now.
I love that.
But do you know what I mean? And I know I can.
There's something about what Muhammad Ali says, I am. It should be, to me, it's the only affirmation in the world, because if you're visualising being there, the outcome, like you're already world champion when you're visualising it, yeah? When you say, I am world champion, even if you're not, your brain don't know. It goes, okay, you are. And you'll start acting like one, and the science is there to back it up now. You're trained like one, and you speak like one. That's why Muhammad Ali visualised so long that he programmed neural pathways in his brain to open up. His neurology felt like he was. Now, consciously, any idiot, he knew he weren't. But his body felt like he was. He go, I am the greatest. He said it. Yeah. But when people go, Flash, who do you think he is, fucking Flash? He weren't being Flash. No. He was just telling you the truth.
That's it. Yeah.
People see it as Flash because they think that's arrogance. If you believe what you're saying, that ain't arrogance. No. Do you know what I mean? You just believe in Flash. I'm telling you, I'm going to be world champion. Yeah. And then go and pull it off and go, well, he said that.
That's it. It's true. The way of speaking.
I love it.
That's how my mindset is now. Like, people soon think,
you can see your energy on you, Brad, man. You can see the energy.
He's stopped boxing. So what? I'm fresh, mate. I'm good to go. I'm ready.
But that's just
I feel better now than what I did before.
Yeah,
I feel in better shape now. I'm in better shape now as I was before. Do you know what I mean? So who's telling me any different? So just.
And this is the truth. You can never see yourself through other people's eyes. As long as you see yourself through your eyes, nothing can change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it, brother. You do look like your energy levels are up, man. I love watching your Instagrams and that, and seeing you up there. It's brilliant, mate. So I can't wait. I want to be at your first fight if it's in time for us to get there.
Back. The crowds are coming back soon. In May, I think the crowds will be back. So it should all work out perfectly and work for the crowds to be back and me to be back. And yeah, man, just got to stay positive and stay as I am in a good.
So have you got anything that you could, anyone at home at the minute about moving forward, staying positive through COVID? What would you say as the champ? What would you say?
I've been there. Do you know what I mean? I thought my career was over. I was down in the dumps.
Yeah.
I thought that was it. Do you know what I mean? I thought
was my depressed
life,
sort of thing.
Listen, I ain't ashamed to say it. I was depressed.
Yeah.
I was arguing with the missus, it just weren't happy, just weren't in a happy place, and I didn't see no end. Do you know what I mean? Just there weren't enough. Then I just got into a bit of PT and done that. I was back in the gym, something that I loved, and it and then the doors started opening, and just got to stay positive. Listen, this COVID's messed up a lot of people, a lot of businesses, a lot of families. Do you know what I mean? A lot of stress and debt, and do you know what I mean, and struggle, but it's just all about staying positive and having that right mindset. It's all about the mindset. We talk about it a lot, and just having that mindset of that
moving forward, just seeing the future.
There you go, and just visualizing, like you say, and being positive, telling yourself it's gonna be okay. It's this, that. It ain't just about boxing. It's about in life. Do you know what I mean? About your work. If it's not been working,
it's true. It's what words you put in is what's going to come out of you, isn't it? So I like that.
You just got to be positive. As much bad and shit what's happening in the world, there's always a bright side. Do you know what I mean? There'd always be someone else is always going through something worse than what you think your problems are bad. There's always someone worse off, and I know that's maybe not a good way of looking at it, because it's not nice for someone to be going through something bad. But listen, it's another story for Brendan. I was told he would say, "Oh, you write down your problem. You write down your problem. You write down your problem. You write on paper, screw it up, put it in the corner. Right, Rob, go and pick up the problem. You pick up the problem. Look, you got it, yeah." Brendan would go over, pick up a problem, and say, "Fuck that, throw it away. I don't want that problem. I want someone else's." Like, so then everyone would laugh and be like, "Well, I thought my problem was bad." Like, it's like, do you know what I mean? So it's just like mad. That's like a mad little story of Brendan. Do you know what I mean? And it just got people thinking like, "Oh, I really thought my problem was bad. He's thrown that away." Do you know what I mean? He said, so.
That's brilliant.
It's one of them.
I'd love to meet him, man.
Everyone's got their problems, but I'm sure, just like I say, get your mind right and be positive and move forward, and it'll be all right.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you for your time today, mate. And I'm sure we're going to see you with that world title one day, mate. Well, know we are. Yeah. So thank you very much to Mr. Bradley Skeete. Thank you, my bro. And we'll see you next week on the MindKite Podcast. Thank you very much.